I'll tell you a story about, I love to tell the story about due diligence, because everyone's got a different view of due diligence. Most people just work at the balance sheet. But we're an operating company. I grew up in operations. I understand that. So that's what distinguishes us from other investors. We have the ability to, we don't do an acquisition and just bring money to the table. We bring talent, we bring ability, we have teams. We can make things happen. We can buy companies with warts. We can buy things that should sell for 7 times. We can buy them at 5, and when we get finished, we bought them for 4. But the story, because the discipline, one of the first acquisitions we made in the Crawford Group, maybe this was 1975, was called Baloff Home Products. It was a big company, big problems, labor, and down in Columbiana, Ohio. I really liked the company. It was a lithographing company. But I couldn't get all the information. They kept getting mixed information and so forth. So at the time, we had a plant in Conneaut, and we owned the local racetrack, dirt cars, and we used to go there. And they had a track in Columbiana. So I asked, I was talking to the gentleman running it, Dick McGough, and he says, look, he said, I can get all the information you want. I said, what? He said, well, I'm going to take the car down there, and we're going to start racing down there, and I'll spend a month down there, and I'll know everything about everything in the whole town. And the morning of the due diligence, when we called in, and I know this is extreme, but if look at, this is not, and I don't know, private equity, their model is, you know, you do 10 things, you make a lot of money in two or thing, in turnover, and you flip, you know. I could never start a season, if there's 10 games, I couldn't start a season and plan to lose 2 games. So we don't go into something that we think we're not going to win on. And ask about the information and not kidding yourself with what the facts are. So it was fun because the due diligence and the owners were there and the lawyers were there, and it was a Monday morning. And I said, our due diligence will be at 9 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock in, it comes about 5 or 6 pickup trucks. They take unload ladders. One guy goes up on the roof. One guy goes look at the electrical. We had all the information in advance. And they would come in and give me the report. Mm-hmm. So I understood exactly what that company was about. We understood what the problems were, where in the building, what was the issue with the employees. Everything was clear to us. And we wouldn't do anything like that today because we're probably not organized that way anymore. But the question, that's how important it was for us to be right. And we go after a win every time. We don't practice. I'm not practicing. You know, we're going after what we're after. So we don't end up making big, bad deals. And you're going to ask me the question, how many deals have failed? Not very many.
But I bet you remember the ones that did.
A vague memory. It's kind of dusty, you know.